Welcome back.
Welcome back. What's hanging?
Just I don't know.
So your graduation is it's Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. And what degree are you getting?
Exercise science bachelor's.
Okay, that's pretty rad.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I feel like I've been working on it for forever.
So are you ready to kick into high entrepreneurial gear?
I hope
now
so.
that you're done with your
I'm
college
so
degree?
nervous to graduate because it feels like I've got to get my crap together.
Have you made any decisions about what crap you're getting together?
I mean, no. I want to start posting more YouTube videos of my yoga videos, so I'm going to film some more of those this weekend, hopefully. But
Because we're going to be talking about decisions today.
I know.
So I want
I'm a bad example.
I want to hear all about your decisions. But before that, do you want to read our short intro?
Yeah.
I put some blanks so that you can insert mystery words in there.
Okay. So I like how the first four words are in big letters and then it just goes to small letters.
I wasn't very good about the formatting. I just kind of threw it in there.
That's okay. Okay, so welcome to the Self-Help Hangover podcast, where new age, free-spirited Maegan and her skeptical but somewhat religious father, Kirk, review popular self-help media to sort out the good from the not so good.
Were you going to swear there or something?
No, I wasn't. There was just blanks there.
Maegan,
and
you
I
left
wasn't
out
sure.
my parentheses.
I know.
New age, free,
I felt like
spirited,
it was too
parentheses, but not hippie-ish.
I feel like that's
Maegan.
too quirky or something.
But it is quirky. But so is our podcast. Aren't we trying to make a quirky podcast?
No.
Oh. What kind of podcast are we trying to make?
Serious, stoic.
Oh, really? Okay. I'll change my goal, my mindset. Well, we have been covering chapter by chapter Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
If you're still with us at this episode, you're a saint.
Yeah. Yeah, we owe you big time.
We
Let's
do.
see. We've had 500. I don't know how Podbean figures all this stuff, but supposedly we've had 500 whatevers.
Accumulated
Yeah, over
all
whole
the podcast episodes. Does it tell you how many people listen to each individual episode?
Yes, there's graphs and all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the larger percentage of listeners are listening on Apple Podcasts.
Are you serious? That's so interesting because I always tell people to listen on Spotify. So maybe
I know. I've always been linking on Spotify.
Yeah, so maybe we should be linking on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
That might be more common for people to use.
So thanks to everybody who's gone to Apple Podcasts and found the episode, even though we've been sharing the Spotify link.
Yeah, thank you so much. Seriously, we are so grateful for everyone who's listening. So thank you.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about chapter 8, which
Decisions.
is that what it's called?
It's about decisions.
It's called Decision. Mm-hmm. The mastery of procrastination. And Napoleon Hill says that reaching decisions promptly and changing decisions slowly, if at all, is what wealthy people do.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
So I remember the first time I listened to this book, I think I must have been like 16 or 17. But I remember when I listened to this chapter, I was so anxious about it because I was so indecisive. And I think I've gotten like way better significantly, but I was so anxious because I did not think that I could make a decision fast. And even though I know what I said about about my career, but like I feel like for the most part, I'm way more capable of making quick decisions than I have been in the past. So
Are you feeling pressured by this book to be decisive and quick about it?
no, I mean, I try to take everything with a grain of salt because if I take anything for like true, like absolute fact, I will spiral if I don't fit in under that category. So I just don't even let myself go there because I'm not trying to spiral about it, but
Okay, so any success book that you read and you're like, I don't fit into that,
yeah.
or that doesn't describe me very well. Well, your response to that is,
I'm just not gonna like, I just don't need that part. Like, I don't need to like internalize that.
okay. So just like, I'm going to be successful anyway?
Yeah, basically. Like, I just don't think one thing has to like fit for, like, everything has to fit for me. I just don't think that. And yeah, I just don't think that. Because there's so many different personalities out there that are successful, so many
Yeah.
types of people. So I just don't think it matters that much.
Interesting. I think that's
And I think
helpful.
that's way better mindset than than I had when I first read this book. Because when I read this book in the past, I was like, I think looking for any like guidance to latch onto or like, I just know like who I was back then, and like I would have been upset that I didn't fit into all of these categories, and I would have tried to like squeeze myself into this mold of to try to fit all of these qualifications.
Interesting. So, but so you were less decisive as a younger lass,
Yeah.
and now you're a little bit more decisive. Do
I
you feel
think
like
I'm a
you're
lot more decisive.
a lot more decisive?
Yeah. Like, even though, like, I have like I have a big picture idea of my life that I feel like very happy about, like, very excited about. But I just, honestly, I don't feel like I've even let myself, like, think about it lately because I'm so focused on school that that's all I can think about.
Okay.
So I will be thinking
So you
about it
decided
more.
to focus on school.
Yeah. That's literally something I had to talk to my therapist about because I was so anxious that I wasn't like showing up for my like business and like my social media because I've been so busy about school. And my therapist was like, you need to like, not you need to, but like she was like, basically you need to realize that like you're doing a lot of stuff and like it's okay if you put like that stuff on the back burner while you're doing school because school takes a lot of focus, and it's okay to like realize it's okay to not be putting your full effort into that right now.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like switch into that mindset of like, okay, it's okay if I'm not like focusing on my career right now. I can focus on school.
Where did I read about this? Somebody was saying someplace out there in the big world that it's okay to do 80% of your life in, just like get by, or just do like the
Yeah.
bare bones,
Seriously.
or just do kind of a mediocre job at 80% of your
Yeah.
life. So that you can, is it 80%? I'm thinking about 80/20 because
Yeah,
that's
because of
usually
the
a
health
percentage
thing.
that the business world often talks
Oh,
about. It might be
and
because
and
of
in like the health world
Stephen
too.
Covey or something. What does the health world say about
Like
80/20?
80/20, like do like 80% of your meals like healthy nutritious food, 20% like junk food.
I can eat 20% junk food?
I mean, that's a rule that lots of people go by. I mean, there's
Holy
definitely
crud.
people who are against that. Like, no, you need, I mean, on both sides of that. Like, some people are like, no, you need to be hardcore. Some people are like, I don't give a.
Probably 25% of what I've eaten today is cookie dough. So I need to scale back.
Well, you still have the rest of the 80%.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna go down some carrots to even things out.
that's okay. But oh wait, I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but now I can't remember.
What
You go.
decisions? Well, let's just keep going. If you think about any personal stories about deciding, let us know. I'd love to
Okay.
hear those. Anyway, he says the majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others.
I can definitely see where he's coming from with that, because I think there's something to be said about having like a backbone and having your own opinions and not just being like so impressionable, like you can be influenced, like, just being like, I honestly relate to this so much because I feel like in high school I was always trying to like look to other people, like what they were doing, what they were thinking. Like I was always like trying to like find what was like popular, what people like, and then I would like that and I would like make that my personality basically. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I started like looking inward and into things that I actually like and being like, well, dang, do I actually even like that, or what? And
Is that when you decided you didn't like staying up late with everybody else?
honestly, no. I started going to bed early because of the depression. I was like,
What?
I think it was like I was going through a breakup or something, and I was like, I don't want to be up at night because I just get depressed. So I
really?
I would just force myself to go to bed.
Oh,
it was
wow.
way better. So, and then I've just stuck with that ever since.
I thought it was because of training people earlier.
I mean, it was partly that. Like I like getting more sleep, but but that's like when I seriously got serious about it, because I was like, I don't want to be up. I don't want to be sad at night. Like I was like, I'm just going to bed. I'm happy during the morning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so when you decide something, I don't mean to like skim past your depression.
No,
Talking about your depression.
I don't want to talk about it that much, so so that's totally okay.
We'll talk all about it in the show notes. Just kidding. No, that's for you and your therapist.
Okay.
Of course, I'm here to talk to if you want to talk. We'll talk about it offline. Okay, so the majority. Oh, I already read that. Basically, here's my question: have you ever come to a decision, and in order to not be, for it to not be like stamped out, like if it's just kind of a growing ember or a planted seed, in order for that not to be snuffed out or smothered or whatever, you haven't told people about the decision for a while you kind of let it grow?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. 100%. Because it's like one person makes a comment about it that's like kind of derogatory, and then it like ruins it. So I feel like I do that all the time. I'll like think about stuff, about doing stuff. Like even like I feel like, I don't know. Well, I'll think of an idea and I'll like start working on it like kind of secretly, and then I'll be like, "Oh, like look what I've been doing," kind of thing. Cuz it's way better, cuz it's like if someone is like, "Why are you doing that?" then it just, you're like, "Oh, I don't know." Like yeah, it just sucks. I mean, not that like I don't want to sound like someone who's like controlled by if people like think that what I'm doing is cool or not, but it's just sometimes better to do things in secret and then reveal it later once you've made progress with them.
I probably already talked about this, but when I declared my major to study art, some people started freaking out.
Yeah, seriously. People are haters and doubters. So you have to protect your dream.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember a lady came up to me in the foyer at church and was like, I heard that you are declared an art major. And I said, yeah. And she said, well, how are you going to support a family with that?
Oh my gosh. Can I say the thing about opinions that has a swear word?
Yeah, I think we can ask Brian to beep it out so we don't have to put an E on our episode.
Oh, are you serious? Even if it's
I
not
don't know
the
what
F
the
word?
rules are. I think I think if you can designate a episode as being explicit
Oh,
when you upload it.
okay.
But you
Well,
can say it.
I
Brian
learned
will
it
beep
from my
out.
Silver Sneakers group. But Diane, if you're listening to this, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, but no one wants to see it.
How are they? You can beep that out so we know what she's talking about, Brian.
If you just, yeah.
Okay.
I can't even say it without laughing.
No one wants to see your opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. That's memorable.
I mean, some people do, but
Okay, I swear I heard this story. I don't know if it was on How I Built This with Guy Raz or some other show about what for entrepreneurs, but the founder of Spanx, Spanx,
Yeah.
the clothing, like the
undergarment, form fitting,
wear or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Sarah Blakely, I looked up her name, but I couldn't find the story. But basically, I think it was in her story where she like worked on this for a year before telling anybody.
Yeah.
Like she really like ironed out or ramped up, started to try to get some momentum and be well into the process.
Yeah.
Before her family knew about it or whoever.
I don't blame you. Because, I mean, also it's like, if you have something you believe in fully, but other people don't believe in it, like, as your family, like, maybe they're scared that you're just, like, wasting your time or that you're going to, like, go bankrupt or something. So sometimes it's just better to keep it under the radar.
Yeah. Really fast, before I keep talking about that, I wanted to backtrack for just a second to say that I don't know if this is scientific, that the majority of people who fail to accumulate are generally easily. Like we've talked about many times how there are many reasons why people may not be rich, right?
Yeah.
and many of those reasons might be altruistic. Many of them might be circumstantial. Of course, Napoleon Hill would argue that don't let circumstance hold you back.
Yeah.
But there's, even us just trying to discuss this, we only have our own personal experiences to fall back on, and then we try to observe people from other backgrounds that have had different experiences and try to give everybody grace. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah.
But here's what he says. Quote, close friends and relatives, while not meaning to do so, often handicap one through opinions, and sometimes through, let me start this paragraph over. Close friends and relatives, while not meaning to do so, often handicap one through opinions, and sometimes through ridicule, which is meant to be humorous.
Yeah, I totally agree with this. Yeah, it's like someone says something, even if it's a joke, that cuts deep. And yeah, it's like sometimes even if people are meaning the best, but they say something, it's just like, oh, like it just makes you feel crappy. And yeah, so I totally agree with him on this about keeping your plan secret until you feel like the time is right.
I'm going to keep reading. Thousands of men and women carry inferiority complexes with them all through life because some well-meaning but ignorant person destroyed their confidence through opinions or ridicule.
Yeah, I totally agree with this. They're like, it's like you really don't realize it, but the things you say to people, though, that can affect them, like their whole perception of themselves and their lives for like a long time. Like, especially like kids, it's like when your brain is a sponge and you're younger, it's like everything you hear around you, it becomes like in your subconscious, like things you believe and things you internalize. And I mean, even as an adult, it's like things you say, things you hear affect how you, like, your perception of the world and yourself.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think about this idea that that you should do stuff rather than talk about it. Like, rather than telling the world what you intend to do, first show it.
I mean, I agree with that. I feel like you don't agree with that, maybe?
No, I actually do agree with it. I think, well, there's two sides to that coin. One is that you can talk, sometimes it's self-talk, right? Like, I'm going to do this. I've been talking about opening a museum for 7 years, and I haven't done it. But I'm like, you guys, I'm going to do this. And actually, it would probably be better if I didn't. I mean, part of it's like, you need interest. You need to build interest in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the downside of that is I hear a lot of people talk about what they're going to do and be like, great things are coming, big things are coming, and then
not deliver or something.
Yeah, or it's like a perpetual state of like positivity, but not backed up by
action. I totally get that.
Have you seen that? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely get that. Yeah. So I think I like that like idea of doing things instead of talking about them. Like, instead of just talking the talk, walking the walk as well, and like putting action. I mean, because even if you like, no matter how much you're like manifesting something or saying that something's going to happen, you have to put action and take the steps towards that thing to make it happen. You can't just like expect things to happen because you're saying they're going to happen.
Right. Like, I think we've talked about auto-suggestion. Sometimes I think, when we talk about manifesting and things like that, part of that is positive self-talk. And it might even be verbalizing things outwardly towards the world around you.
Yeah.
But I think that you can get into a pattern of being more talk than action.
Yeah, definitely.
And then when you're saying those things, people are receiving them like,
people are kind of like, well, we'll see. Yeah, like right. just kind of like, yeah, right.
Yeah. Anyway, hopefully there's that. We're leading with action. Maybe
I hope so. Know. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do some advertisements. We're just advertising our own stuff.
Let's advertise Brian's stuff. So Brian is here. He is our audio engineer. Brian, he wrote and recorded our podcast music.
Yeah.
Right.
And he is the best. He wrote my song for my other podcast, and he's recorded everything for me. Whenever I have music or audio, I always go to Brian. And he's the best in town.
Hey, Brian, where can people... Do you want to hop on here for a second?
He's like, no.
Yes. Just tell us about your... about you as a music artist and also as a music producer. How can people work with you?
Hello, my name is Brian, and I'm a music producer, and you can check out my solo work under the name Dahbose, Dahbose, on all streaming platforms, and you can find me on most socials under Dahbose Music. That's Dahbose Music. And if you need a music producer, I am your guy. So cool.
What kind of music should they expect at Dahbose?
Synthy stuff. whatever you need, as long as it's synthy or not. I can broaden my horizons as well. But yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we're glad to have Brian doing music for us, and back to the program. He talks about Lincoln deciding to do the Emancipation Proclamation and what a brave decision that was. He talks about Socrates. He says that the greatest decision of all time was... Any idea?
Wait, no, let me think about this.
Sorry, Megan's been focusing on graduating, so she didn't read this chapter right
I just took my last final today. Wait, no, this is chapter 9.
So you have,
Chapter
it's
8.
been a little while you listened to it.
Wait, so the greatest decision of all time? No, I can't remember.
The greatest decision of all time, as far as any American citizen is concerned. Any idea? It was reached in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
July
it was
4th,
the
1776.
It was separating from Britain.
Yes, the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, Declaration of Independence. And not only that, but it was even more important than the date the Declaration of Independence was signed was the day that they decided they were going to sign the Declaration of Independence, where they decided they were going to separate from Britain.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And that was a big decision because that they were putting their lives in danger, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, I think it's interesting because he talks about the founding fathers as being in a mastermind group, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it just made me think about how he said that you have to be completely unified. And I just know that there was a lot of debate,
Yeah.
right? in everything surrounding the founding of the United States and up to today. There's always a lot of debate. Mm-hmm. There's working through details. There's compromise. So to say that the government at any stage has been a completely unified mastermind group, I think is a bit romantic.
Yeah. Well, the fact that he says that that's a mastermind group makes me feel like he's like really looking through it through rose-colored glasses, like what being unified is or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. He says, those who reach decisions promptly and definitely know what they want and generally get it. Those who reach decisions promptly and definitely know what they want and generally get it. I guess that sentence makes grammatic sense. I think I just read it wrong. But what do you think about that? That if you reach decisions promptly and definitely, you know what you want, that you're going to get it?
I don't know why, but this idea is so like doesn't resonate with me for some reason, and I think maybe it's just because like I like to like think about things and then like let them marinate for like a little bit and then like decide, like as long as I'm not in a rush, but like I like to like think about things and then maybe sleep on it or something. And I feel like I'm like fine. I mean, obviously I'm not rich or anything, but like it just doesn't like, I don't know. It just doesn't resonate with me that much.
Do you think that you can kind of go through life in a flow and just not have kind of a predetermined destination, but make decisions as their opportunities or choices are placed before you, and that you'll be happy and wealthy and...
Yeah, absolutely. Like I definitely do. And like, I definitely think that can be the case. I just don't think maybe like that the quality of making decisions like quickly and immediately is that important. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. It just.
What
let me know
about
if you disagree.
clarifying in your mind what your goals are? How important is that?
I think that's important. Like thinking about like what your goals are, being specific about them, and thinking about them often. I think that's important.
Okay. I do. One of the things that I've done in my art academy is I put together a motivations and goals survey so people can kind of clarify in their mind why they're doing art, what they want art to do for them.
That's awesome.
And I think it's useful because I think if you kind of come to a clear picture of what you want to do with art, you'll know what opportunities are good opportunities for you.
Yeah.
You'll be less like envious of other people who are given opportunities when maybe they weren't the right opportunity for you anyway.
Yeah,
You can be more happy for their success in that.
for sure.
I think sometimes we just kind of broadly look out at other people, particularly art in the art world, and say, "Oh man, that person is having all this success, and my life is lame in comparison."
Well, and it's so hard, like with social media, because you just compare to everyone in your field. And that's what kind of got me down a little bit, is because I was like so busy with school. And then I see people who are like posting consistently and like getting attention and traction. And I'm like trying to set these goals like, oh, okay, I'm going to post like so and so days. And then I don't do it because I'm just so busy. So that's kind of, anyways, now I'm losing what I was talking about in the first place.
Well, I think that, clarifying what your priorities are plays into that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm not saying, I don't know what I'm saying. I guess, clarifying what your motivations are is good. Like knowing where what you want to do and why, and then having some flexibility, right? Kind of letting the flow take you, but also making decisions, saying yes to some opportunities, saying no to others based on where you want to go. I think those are all a good idea. Now, he says you generally get what you want. I don't know about that. Like maybe you go down a road, like when an opportunity comes, you pivot, or you're kind of swept up in something unexpected. And I think that's an okay thing to have happen.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sometimes we envision like a goal or like our mission, but our life mission or life goals, and then the world needs something else from us,
Yeah.
Hopefully they're related,
Yeah.
it gets you kind of where you want to go. But so I don't know, I'm open to a lot of different possibilities, but I do think that if that clarifying in your own mind can get you closer to a specific end that you want.
I agree with that. Yeah. I think like it's good to have a clear image of what you want, and that will help you like recognize things that are like going to take you towards that, or things that are maybe not necessarily, maybe not for you, and you can maybe use that to take the opportunities that are going to take you to your goal. So yeah, I love the idea of having a clear goal in mind. I like to try to do that for myself.
Yeah. Cool. I think some people, again, but on the same topic, a lot of times we just want success. I want to be a successful artist. What does that mean, though? For me, it means like making a difference in the community, like pushing, like raising awareness for certain issues. Like all of that's tied into art making for me, as well as making a living, right? For some people in my art academy, they're not interested in that. They might not even be interested in making a living, They might be doing it for other reasons. And so it helps for them to know that, so that when I'm teaching them stuff, they can realize that our goals are different.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about this? Okay. I'm quoting from the book. The major weakness of all educational systems is that they neither teach nor encourage the habit of definite decision. It would be beneficial if no college would permit the enrollment of any student.
I remember this part.
Megan, let me finish.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, that's funny. It would be beneficial if no college would permit the enrollment of any student unless and until the student declared his major purpose in matriculating. It would be of still greater benefit if every student who enters the graded schools were compelled to accept training in the habit of decision and forced to pass a satisfactory examination on this subject before being permitted to advance in the grades.
I totally disagree with this. Just because I think when you're going into college, like you're so young, it's like some people know exactly what they want to do, but a lot of people have no idea what they want to do and they're just out of high school. And so I think I just think it's kind of stupid to say that like you should have to know what you're going into before you can even go to college. I think that's a dumb idea, or like that you have to, I don't know. I don't like that idea at all. My mom, I hope she doesn't mind me sharing her story, but she went to college. We can cut this out if he's looking at me.
I've been looking at you this whole time.
Yeah, but he's looking at me with like a face.
I've had a face this whole time. No, I think Mom would be happy for you to share.
Yeah.
Go for it.
She what's it called? So she went to college as a young woman after her mission, right? She went on her mission first, right?
She did some school before.
She did some
after.
Okay. Well, anyways, she majored in history, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't know what she wanted to do. And her and my dad got married, and she's always helped my dad with his art business. And then I think like a few years ago, she decided she wanted to get into therapy and become a therapist. So she got her master's degree and went back to school and became a therapist. So and she just always says to us like, yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was like, well, I won't say her age in case she doesn't want me to share, but yeah, she's just always like,
in her
yeah,
40s.
She's in her 40s. Yeah. She's always like, yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was in my 40s. And I think if she hadn't gotten her bachelor's degree back then she would have had to do 6 years of school instead of 2 years of school. And I think there's true. Nothing, I just don't think we should shame people for not knowing what they want to do in life, because that just makes it worse. Cause I remember it's scary getting out of high school and being like, oh dang, I need to like figure out what I got to do. And I don't think we need to add pressure to people who are already feeling that way.
Can you imagine what would a test on decision making look like for somebody in grade school?
Yeah, seriously. Like, I don't even know what that, like, how do you even test that? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, what are the questions? Like, what do you want to do with your life or something? And you have to answer. Like,
I don't know.
It's just like, so like.
Maybe it would be this. 98 out of every 100 people working for wages today are in the positions they hold because they lacked the definiteness of decision to plan a definite position and the knowledge of how to choose an employer. True or false? That would be on a grade school
Oh, that would
test.
be okay. I see. Yeah, yeah. Like, it's so weird. Like I feel like that's just not like I just don't like it. It's just weird.
It makes me think of that. I think I played it for you. That that graduation like song or graduation speech by what's his name? The guy that did The Great Gatsby.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, like the director.
Oh, who is that, Brian?
And he did
What else did
Strictly
he do?
Ballroom and
Oh.
Baz Luhrmann. Baz Luhrmann, he did like
Oh,
a
I
graduation
didn't know
talk that was on the radio as if it were a song. And it's like there's like a beat and music behind it, but he's just talking.
Okay.
And he said, "Don't worry if you don't know what you want to do with your life. Some of the most interesting people I know didn't know what to do with their lives at 40.
Yeah.
So
Seriously, that's so I love that because that's way more the attitude that I like. Like I would rather hang out with that type of person who has that mindset because it's like I don't know. It just gives off the energy of like everyone needs to be the same and like it just gives off the energy. I don't know why this is coming to mind, but it gives off the energy of like not accepting your kids or something.
oh,
I don't know
that's
why.
not Aura.
Yeah.
Brian's got a really
Brian
good
is
grimace
cringing.
on his face right now.
Brian.
I'm sure I used that wrong. Anyway, okay. Well, maybe I'll have to do
Dad might need to apologize for saying
I
that.
might need to apologize. I might need to do some more studying of the Urban Dictionary. Anyway, but I'm up on trends, right, Megan?
Oh yeah, I tried to do a TikTok, like do the TikTok prank on my dad. I'm sure. Well, I don't know if everyone knows this, but like where you're like, Josh is gonna laugh hearing me because I was telling. Anyways, I was trying to do the thing where you're like, I'm so hungry I could eat, blah blah blah, and you say someone from their childhood, and he already had watched the trend, so it didn't work.
Right. I'm so hungry I could eat such and such person's name that you didn't know that I knew about.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
person,
Yeah.
right? Like, just totally surprising and out of the blue.
Yeah, if you haven't seen these, look them up on TikTok because I just laugh and laugh watching them. The most visceral
Brian's
laugh
shaking
I've
his
ever
head.
laughed.
But I was too up on trends for that to work.
Yeah.
For your attempt to work on me. Right?
I know. So,
Yeah.
so sadly, I won't have a video to post on TikTok.
I'm hip, yo. What's that meme with what's his name? Like that's what the kids do. Wait, no, fellow kids. It's like that. What's his name? That actor with the teeth and the.
Oh yeah,
I have no idea.
That's the vibe that I'm trying to give right now.
Wait, who?
it's the dude that's in like Spy Kids 2 and all the Adam Sandler movies,
Wait.
and also
And what does he say?
that one Tarantino movie. I don't know. I can Google it.
I don't think I've never heard of this.
This is
I don't
really
think
important
I've
information.
ever. I know everyone's gonna
I'll
turn
send
off
it
the
to you,
podcast.
Megan.
now.
Maybe we'll post a screenshot in the.
in the post. Yeah.
If I make it to the end of this, when I review these, I just pull up the audio file on Finder Preview. And so if I lose my place,
It
I
doesn't
accidentally
save
look
it.
for something else in Finder, then I'm like, oh, forget it.
He's like, I'm not.
The first
reviewing the
2/3
rest.
sounded fine. I'm just going to post it.
That's okay. I don't even review them, so I'm so thankful that you review them.
Anyway, that's it. Decision. That's a chapter on decision.
That's everything?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about something until we started talking about this.
You thought we were talking about what?
Weren't we talking about something?
Today?
Yeah.
We were talking about something?
Yeah, then we went on a tangent. And I thought we were going back to it.
No, I can't remember. We were talking about tests, kids, whether or not
Oh, yeah.
they should have to take a
about the Baz
test.
Luhrmann thing.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say. It's like the whole thing about, like, Kris Jenner didn't like start keeping up with the Kardashians until she was like in her 40s or 50s, and now she's
we're gonna talk about
Kris Jenner.
No, but people starting things late in life in the next chapter.
Correct.
But I was just going to say about decision. When I decided to do art, that was like a firm decision.
Yeah.
Like I never felt like I was going to do something else. Like I've been committed.
That's awesome.
From that moment. And I think that has helped me, and it's helped me get through some tough seasons and tough challenges just to have that, commitment.
Yeah.
So I do think there is a value in just sticking behind your decisions.
Yeah.
Not that you can't ever change. Sometimes it's necessary, but I do believe in decision making. I don't know if I'm fast at making decisions and if I never change my mind. In fact, one of the things that I really appreciated from one of my college professors was he didn't, he was very careful and sometimes second guessed himself. In conversation, he would be very tentative about an opinion.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that he was very like thoughtful and would change his mind and allowed himself that space.
It's a very great attribute to be able to admit that you're changing your mind, or that you're like changing your mind, or that you were wrong about something, or that you want to like change your opinion about something.
Yeah. All right. Well, any final words about decision?
No, I don't think so. But thank you for listening.
I would just like to say that I found the meme. It's Steve Buscemi in the movie Billy Madison. Billy Madison. And the quote is, "How do you do, fellow kids?"
He's like this old guy with a cap on, right? I think he doesn't have.
He's got a backwards baseball cap.
Can I see the picture?
Skateboard,
or it might be a beanie. I can't tell.
And he's like trying to pal around with kids, and he's like this old guy.
That's so funny.
Anyway, that's me. Okay, well, tune in next time, and we'll talk about chapter 9.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks.